So everyone, welcome. This is Shannon Ballman Theis, the Payroll Queen, and today, QuickBooks Desktop, it has created some pop-ups that are for 2026, but they're not able to be closed, and unless you go through and answer all the questions. So I'm going to do a couple quick videos today for everybody so that you can see what everything looks like. All right. And it looks like it is sharing the correct screen here. So this is a test company that I've got that I use whenever I'm doing a payroll recording. I'm just going to come in here and get payroll updates. Download the entire update, click update. Looks like I'm using the 121921. I don't know if that's the newest one or not. Okay, we've got the payroll update installed and it is telling us all of the new stuff. All right, so I'm just going to close that. And now if I come here to run a payroll, yep, this is where the pop-up happens. All right, so for the new tax, Minnesota Paid Leave Company, it is saying that your new tax table has a tax, Minnesota Paid Leave Company, that was not on your payroll item list. We have added it to your list. This wizard will help you add the tax to the payroll setup for the affected employees and enter year-to-date amounts for the tax. There shouldn't be any year-to-date amounts if you're doing it yet in 25 and the 26 payroll has not run yet. So the first question asks if the Minnesota unemployment company rate in QuickBooks includes the rate for Minnesota Paid Leave Company. It should not. So you should, I believe, unless you've like done some gymnastics with the numbers, like added things together, your Minnesota unemployment rate should just be your Minnesota unemployment rate. There were no letters that came out that had the paid leave and the unemployment rate combined at all, at least not that I have seen. So you should say, no, it does not include the rate for Minnesota paid leave, and you'll click next. Have you already created your own payroll item to track Minnesota paid leave? We did not. So I am going to click no, I did not create a payroll item to track this tax. And next, and then the company is, I'm just going to have it be Minnesota paid leave because that is what's on all of the letters. So I'm going to just quick add that. And then you'll enter in the account number that identifies you to the agency. Since this is a recording, I'm not entering a record thing, but if you don't have that number handy, it says that your setup is incomplete and that they would recommend that you fill out the information to ensure tax calculations are accurate. Do you still want to continue and set up later? You can click yes here, and I will show you how to go back and add that later. Do you want to set up affected employees for Minnesota Leave Company? So yes, why not have the software do the work? So we'll say we'll continue, and then the company portion rate is, so the rate that the company will contribute is either going to be 0.44 or 0.22. So 0.22 is what you're going to put if you're a small employer. 0.44 is what you're going to put if you're a large employer. And we recommend you verify the payroll item portion rate details for your eligible employees. To do this, you go to the Employee Center. So I'm going to walk you through all of this because we're going to verify that everything is correct. Then as soon as you click finish, another pop-up comes up to set up the paid leave for the employee. So the wizard will help you with the tax. And again, we're going to say no, the rate does not include the paid family leave. And no, we did not create a payroll item to track this tax. And in here, we'll type Minnesota paid leave. And again, we would put the account number that identifies you to the agency. And yes, we want to continue and set it up later. And yes, we want to set up the employees. And the employer portion rate is going to, or the employee portion rate is going to be 0.44 because that is the rate, whether they're a large employer or a small employer, the employee portion is going to be 0.44 in general, unless the employer is going to pay any portion of the Minnesota paid leave, then you would need to see what the paid leave letter from your employer says. And now we've successfully set up the paid leave. Okay. I don't know why this pop-up came, because this is if there's no unemployment. And I'm just going to click through and say no for everything because we are not setting this up. And if you've already clicked no just to get through it, I will walk you through how to do everything else. Now it looks like we can leave that. And now we've got this other annoying one. And so we're going to just say we're not going to set anything up. And now we can leave here. Okay, so now that we've gone through those steps, we can go to the payroll item list. And now we will see that there are all of these taxes that are set up. I like to remove or inactivate things that are not, just to hide them. So now we've got the Minnesota paid leave company and paid leave employee. And if you ever have to come back to it, you can just come here, double click next. And this is where you can enter the number that identifies you to the agency if you did not already enter that in. This is where you'll make sure that the liability account is correct and the expense account is correct according to your own chart of accounts. And this will be on every wage type, except for the personal use of the company car. And for the pre-tax deductions, none will be checked. And that's all you can do on the company and the employee other tax. So just to show you, we were just on the company, now we're going to do the employee. It is identical. We're pretty limited with what we can do there. But now if we come to the employees and we click on them, payroll, info and taxes and other, now we've got the Minnesota paid leave employee and company, and we can verify that the numbers are correct for the employee at 0.44 and the company at 0.22, which this is a small employer, so this is correct. If this was a large employer, both the company and the employee would be at 0.44. So then we'll just save and close, and we are done setting up these the Minnesota paid family leave in QuickBooks Desktop. Please, if you have any questions about what we went over today, please drop your questions in the comments and I will be back to answer them.